Okay, so good afternoon. Well, I'm the guy of irrigation. Okay, I work for a group, a Spanish group called Mat Holding, that we produce, we manufacture products and solutions for irrigation and water. And well, very happy to introduce this discussion about the use of water in irrigation. And let me start that in my sector, we feel that we are a little bit the black sheep, no? That the wasters, no? So let me invest a couple of slides to try to make you understand why we are so intensive in the use of the water. And with some examples, I did this table that I think that you cannot read it, but I will do it for you. If you look on the last line, for example, this is well, the relevant agricultural production countries. For example, you can see that the UK, a big country, the use of water is around 5% for agriculture. Okay? The explanation is easy. It's a very rainy country until now, and so they don't need irrigation to produce food. Okay? So here it's important, this is the extreme, but here you can see this infographic from FAO, where you can see the balance between population and water availability, okay? So you can see, for example, that in Asia, with 60% of the population, only have 36% of the fresh available water. So this balance is a very important factor on the use of water in agriculture. Another factor, and if we look, David is here, that everybody knows that Israel is considered a champion in precise irrigation, in efficiency in irrigation. But if you look on the line, the use of water is in the average. It's 70%. We all accept that more or less the average globally is 70%. So Israel is 70% of use of water for irrigation. So first idea to share is that high use in irrigation don't mean to be inefficient, okay? There are other factors. And if we look on Spain, for example, also, that we are also being considered the top 5 in technological deployment in irrigation, we are in 80%, okay? So at levels of Thailand or other countries that are less developed in technology in irrigation. Why? Because also it's the factor of the economy and the importance of agriculture in each country. Spain is the 4th vegetable export country in the world. So in a way we are exporting water. So, well, just to, that we need to go a little bit deep to understand each consumption. Our colleague from NASA was showing a similar graph, like this one, but this is different. This is the water footprint of nutrition habit of average people like us. And if we look on the water footprint, we see that food is 70%. That suspiciously is very similar to the use of water in irrigation. So we need to understand that this is very linked. It's not that we are wasting in agriculture water for whatever, but it's to feed the population, okay? And we will all agree also that we have, let's say, a responsibility as a society to make sure that everybody have food to eat, okay? And there are many countries that are not in a good position. The problem is that to produce 1 kilogram of bread needs around 1.6 meter cubics of water. So it means in potable water consumption, the people of us, it's like 2 weeks of consumption. So the point here is that the vegetables are not very efficient in the use of the water, okay? Not all the crops are the same. But, for example, myself, I'm from Barcelona. Now we are suffering restrictions for the drought. So at home, we are always trying to correct our kids that don't take a long shower, don't take a bath, and so on. But I'm not sure if we understand that to take a cup of coffee is the same of taking a very long shower or a glass of orange juice. So the consumption habit have a huge impact on this use. Or if we make a meat barbecue in a weekend, okay, 6 persons more or less, it's like a swimming pool. It's 40 square meters of water. So it's very intensive food in water. Okay. But well, now it was a defense on my sector, but now coming to the challenges, we are very inefficient in general, okay? These numbers are not very accurate, but there are estimations that the transport from the dams or the river, sometimes it's wells and it's different, but when it's open canals, that it's a main part of the big irrigation schemes, it's estimated that the losses can be 50% of the water. The distribution, so from the reservoirs that are in the irrigation perimeter to the plot, we are also losing between 20 to 30% globally. And also the field efficiency. I mean, if you are using drippers or sprinklers or flood irrigation, the efficiency goes down and down. So in average, we can estimate that only 1/3 of the water that comes from the river or the dam arrives to the plant. Okay, so here is where we need to do a lot of things. Here we can see 3 pictures on what we call different ways of irrigation technologies. Flood irrigation, that's still the majority of the irrigated land in the world. Sprinkler irrigation and drip irrigation. Well, the difference between the efficiency is very big. I mean, if you use drip irrigation, that you put the nutrients and the water in the root system, you can cut half the water that you use compared with flood irrigation. And also, there is a lot of developments in the way we manage irrigation. I mean, to understand the soil, to understand how the plant is performing, how the climate is affecting the plant, to make sure that we give the water, just the water that we need for the plant, not more, not less, okay? So here there is a lot to work on it. And just a couple of slides about trends we talked about, but we have a growing population. Here we can see in top in the right that in Western countries, the consumption habits in nutrition for humans, the meat is decreasing. So in a way, we are correcting. But the majority of the population are doing in the other way. So the impact of what we do in the Western countries is not impacting yet. The reality is that growing population, people that want more food and more variety of food, the estimations of FAO, the Food and Agricultural Organization, says that we will need to produce in 25 years around the double, okay, of what we are producing now to fulfill the demand. And one way to do it is to irrigate, to do it in more land, but there is no too much land, fertile land, so this is not very sustainable. So what we need is to increase the productivity of the fields that we are already cultivating. In addition, you already talked about the climate change. The climate change have a huge impact because it makes the rain-fed agriculture not sustainable. I mean, farmers cannot survive if one year they get nothing and the other the double. So more and more irrigation is needed to stabilize the investments. No? So the point is that we cannot expect a decrease on the demand of water for agriculture. We cannot, because we need to fulfill this demand, and this is something that many experts are concluding, because again we need to increase productivity, and now globally around between 17 to 20% of the total arable land is in irrigation, but it's producing 40% of the total production. So this transition should be done. And there is space, there is room to do it. This is the total arable land globally. And just to give you the number that we are only irrigating with drip irrigation 0.3% of this total land. So there is a lot to do to increase efficiency, and we have a lot of experience. We can see some examples with all the crops. A lot of all the academic world and the industry already have a lot of experience on how much we can save water and how much we can increase yield if we do it in a correct way. And I'm not talking about super intensive agriculture that don't respect the soil. I think that before we talk about regenerative agriculture, it's combine all this, all the knowledge here. Well, in a minute, this is the example of Spain. Result on the last years. We transformed from 20% in drip irrigation to 50% now in Spain. And even though, and this is information from the government, we didn't invest in the transportation where the losses are bigger, but we are producing 30% more with the same amount of water. So we already have experience in a larger scale about this impact. So, well, just to finish, I think that we already talked about the challenges that we have. The last thing that I want to share with you that it's urgent. I mean, what we see with the price volatility of food, for example, or this is news that was published by Agua, by the way, that I think that the director is here, that the conflicts, the wars related with water, at the end by food, are increasing day by day, so we need to find solutions together very fast. So thank you.